welcome back to my channel. It's Daisha Faye, your favorite licensed esthetician, and if you're new here, welcome. So today I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about things to look for in a suite. So let's get right into it. So the last time I was here, I was telling you guys that, what to expect when going to aesthetic school. And since then, I've begun the journey of solo esthetician. And I was on the hunt for a suite. And while looking for a suite, I learned a couple things. I'm actually in my suite right now. I haven't done a room tour or anything. Y'all let me know down in the comments if you want a room tour. I mean, I don't know why I'm so like, a room tour. I don't know, but let me know if y'all want one, and your wish is my command. But let's get right into things that I've found that are very important to look for in a suite. Number one, I'm looking at my iPad over here, so if I'm looking like over, I ain't on drugs, okay? So first things first is climate control. It is so important to be able to control your climate. If you're a waxer, if you are a facialist, you may want the room warmer, you may want the room cooler for your wax. Just climate control. That is the number one thing to ask. Do we have climate control at each separate suite? Or if we don't have climate control in each separate suite, can we control the climate day to day? Like, can I change the thermometer? Okay, next thing is light control. This is so important for a facialist because you want to set the mood. You want the room to be dim and moody and, light and airy, depending on what kind of facialist you are. You want to be able to control your lights. So make sure that either your lights are dimmable, or you have your own light source. Like, I can turn off my light and it's not controlled by somebody else's light. Make sure you have your own light switch in your room. That's something to look for. Soundproof. We want to make sure that your suite is your suite. Not you can hear what's going on in the next room. When people are opening and closing the main door, you can hear that. You want to make sure that you cannot hear anything so that you can create that calm, cool, collected space and ambience for your clients. So, and also pay attention to if the walls go all the way up, because I know a lot of suite owners, they build out buildings where the walls don't go all the way up to the ceiling, so the next person you can hear over into their room. We don't want that. We want walls going all the way up, unless you provide just services that are quick and easy and it's not like intensive where you're trying to set the mood. Make sure the walls go all the way up. Number 3, the third thing is make sure the electrical sockets work and that there are enough for everything that you do. So as an esthetician, you already know that we have hot towel warmers, we have steamers, wax pots, we have all kind of equipment, hydrofacial, microdermabrasion, high frequency, things that we have to plug in, and we all know that they're not supposed to be plugged into one socket, like all these into one socket. So you want to make sure you have enough and that the sockets work. When you go and look at a suite, just bring your charger, make sure they work. Make sure you have a socket on every wall, so that you could be able to at least run an extension cord if it's not exactly where you want it to be. Just make sure that the sockets work. Another thing, space size. You want to make sure that your space size is adequate enough for all the things that you do. So when I first got into my suite, I underestimated how many things I had, and my suite is very quaint. It's not very spacious. So I had to figure out how to do the best with my space and how to make the space work for me. But if it was my choice and I could do it all over again, I would definitely pick something bigger than 150 square feet, period. Creative control. Make sure sure that you have creative control. If you want to change the floors, if you want to paint the walls, if you want to put something on your door, if you want to paint the door a different color, if you want to paint the ceiling or put a light fixture up that's different from the one that they have in there currently, make sure that you have creative control, because ultimately this is your business, this is your brand. You want to be able to brand your space, you want to be able to put your, you know, touch on this space. So make sure that that's something that you could do. The next thing is security. Make sure there is a alarm system. There are cameras recording the area 24/7. You just want to make sure that you and your clients feel safe to come here. And I guess that leads me into, it's not another point, but another thing that I would be saying is the area. Make sure that your location is somewhere that you feel comfortable working alone. Make sure that it's somewhere that your clients are comfortable coming, and also make sure it's a space where you have enough parking. It's a centrally located area where people know how to find you. It's very easy to find. It's not like in the cut on all these back streets, because people is not gonna come there. Me personally, I'm like, girl, I gotta take all these twists and turns. I'm gonna wreck my car before I get to you, so relax. I see you when you get somewhere centrally located. Another thing, how will you pay? How will you pay? Will they take it directly out of your account? Will you pay money order? Will you pay cash? Will you have to put your credit card in an invoice every week? Or how often will you have to pay? Monthly, weekly? That is something to ask. Make sure you ask those questions, because you don't want to just be jumping into something and you don't even know, you know, like what's required or what's the expectations of you. Another thing, a lot of suite owners, they do specials. So like they'll be like, oh, if you come in the month of April, you get the first month off. Then, you know, or if you pay monthly, they'll take $100 off. Just ask about specials. You know, it's always good to get a deal. We always looking for a deal at the right time, at the right price. So just ask about specials. Another thing is sink in your suite. That's like a luxury. Like, I don't have a sink in my suite, but the I guess common area where it's like a sink and hair dryers, because I'm in a place where they do hair, like predominantly. So the hair dryers and shampoo bowls, the sink is like right 2 doors down from me. So if I'm setting up for a facial, I could get my water ready, wet my towels and everything before the client comes and set it up, which is what you're supposed to do anyway. So I don't find it like, oh my God, I don't have a sink in my suite, but that may be a deal breaker for you. So that's something that you want to ask. I know I had a lot of suite owners offer to put a sink in for me for an additional price, or give me a mobile, portable sink. You know, you just have to ask and just say, hey, do you have a sink, or is it options of a sink to be in the suite, or what have you? So yes, don't be afraid to ask. I think the common thread through this is ask questions. Okay, so another thing, I kind of already touched on it, but parking. Make sure that the parking is like really good, because the place that I am in now, the parking is very limited. So sometimes we have to like park around the back, and some clients may not want to do that. Even though the area that I am in is not like a terribly bad area, people don't want to park in the back. That's just what it is. People want to park in the front. They want to be able to see their car. They want to walk out and go to their car. They don't want to have to ride around the back. Okay, that's just what it is. Another thing, my two last things. Read your lease. If you have to sign a lease, make sure that it's where you want to be. Make sure you've checked off all these boxes from the things that I've told you. Make sure that you read it and know how long are you in the lease, how much are you going to be paying weekly, monthly, how long is the lease. Ask or see in the lease if how you go about breaking the lease. You never know, you may want to move. Things may not be doing as well as you thought they would be, and you want to leave, or you may have outgrown the space in the time that you're there, and your clientele is just so big that you cannot contain it in this room or in the suite that you're in now. So you just want to know everything up front and be open with the suite owner. Like, hey, if your clientele is not as popping, you know, hey, I'm new, I'm starting. They might let you sign a 3-month lease. They may let you go month to month. You never know. So just ask questions. Ask for what you need, and 9 times out of 10, if it's the person for you, if it's the place that you're supposed to be, it's gonna work out flawlessly. It's not gonna be you know, hard to do that. And lastly, save your receipts from paying your lease for tax purposes and for cover your own tail kind of purposes. You know, you can write that off on your taxes. You're paying for a, you know, a business location. And also you want to just make sure that if anything comes back to like, hey, I didn't get the payment for week 3 or whatever like that, you want to say, hey, I have my receipt saved for X, Y, and Z, and I did make the payment on that. Just make sure that you are covering your own tail, because you are your own entity. This is your business. This is your brand. You are your brand. So you have to just make sure that you are covering yourself and everything is everything. You know what I mean? So really, that is all I have for you guys. On that note, I am so grateful to be in my own suite. If you guys want a room tour, like I said, comment down below. Your wish is my command. And I thank you guys so much for watching. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok, you know, everything, all the socials, and also subscribe to my channel. I post lifestyle, aesthetics type of content. So if that's something that you're interested in, go on, subscribe, and let me know what you want to see. Period. Bye, y'all.